The decision to withdraw American troops from northern Syria and allow Turkey to proceed with a planned military operation in the region has caused contention within US political circles. President Trump made the call not for the first time after talks over the weekend with the Turkish president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. But whatever agreement appeared to be in place was confused by a tweet on Monday. Donald Trump promised to destroy and obliterate the economy of Turkey if Turkey does anything he considered to be off limits. But this was walked back 24 hours later with another tweet, stressing that Turkey was a major trading partner and a NATO ally. But the stance taken in Ankara with regards to the military incursion remained firm.
We have a clear message for the international community. Threats are not the way to work together with Turkey. When it comes to security, Turkey sets its own path and takes the matter into its own hands, as our president has said. Whatever the price is, it will be paid. But under no circumstances will we ever allow a terror corridor across our border.
The last time President Trump announced a similar move at the end of last year, the US Defense Secretary James Mattis resigned in protest. This time, the American president denied being at odds with his military commanders, or that this was a call he made in haste.
I was going to do this 9 months ago, and we were not at 100%, but we were pretty close. Everyone said, can we get to 100%? Now I get to 100%, and they say, well, maybe we could stay longer. I say, well, when do we get out? There's got to be a time we get out. We have to bring our people back home.
Turkey's already carried out 2 major cross-border offensives into Syria. It's now looking at a third, while expressing frustration with the Americans over the slow progress to create a safe zone in northern Syria. Francis Collings, TRT World.
Well, for more on this, Taha Arvas joins us now from Istanbul. He's a financial columnist at the Daily Sabah newspaper. Good to have you back with us, Taha. Now, how seriously should Turkey take Donald Trump's latest threats against the country's economy?
Not at all, frankly. I don't think Trump was serious when he sent the tweets. I don't think he was serious later on. I think there were. Even the first tweet was kind of was funny, and he calls himself. He talks about his wisdom being so grand, etc. And then obviously, he walks it back the next day. Nothing. I don't think the market really made much of that tweet initially, so there isn't much to be worried about here.
So do you think that the threats that he made against Turkey's economy, is it more to do about the reaction in the US, perhaps trying to appease those who are concerned about these plans for a safe zone?
Right, absolutely. I think this is domestic politics. Donald Trump is, after all, a politician who's not only under impeachment proceedings in the House of Representatives, but who's also running for re-election. So Trump can, he has to say whatever he needs to say to get reelected and to, as you said, appease his base and the electorate in the United States. So I don't think Turkey took very seriously his initial words, because I think behind the scenes, Trump knows that what Turkey is doing is in the best interest of both the 4 million Syrians living in Turkey now that are going to be repatriated soon to that area, and to the northern Syrians. I mean, we're talking about Turkey keeping safe these millions of Syrians that will return, lest they be, killed by these terror groups within northern Syria.
Yes, now, there's only so much detail you can get across in a few tweets, isn't there? But what do we understand are Donald Trump's red lines that could perhaps trigger him to impose some sort of sanctions against Turkey?
Yeah, I don't see that as happening. I think anything that makes him look bad is what Donald Trump is. I mean, I'm going to be honest here. It's going to be kind of cynical here, but I think he is first and foremost a politician. But at the same time, he has this thing about ending forever wars. This is something that he said, and I think that a lot of Americans have agreed with. If you're my age, America has been at war for the last 40 years, almost constantly at war. And there have been U.S. servicemen and women, most of them from disadvantaged backgrounds, who are putting their lives on the line, where the rich are aren't sending their kids to serve in the military. They're making money off of the military-industrial complex. And it's easy to be an armchair general and say, let's go here, let's fight here and kill people here, et cetera. But real people are serving in these wars. And I think Trump is the first president in a long time to say this. I mean, even during President Obama's administration, the U.S. was at war all over the world. And thousands of innocent people died everywhere, including U.S. servicemen and women. So I think Trump's message has resounded with the American public. And I think he knows that. So that'll help him out in the upcoming election.
Now, Donald Trump has, of course, in the past imposed sanctions against Turkey for one reason or another. How damaging have they proven to be for Turkey's economy?
I think initially they were, first of all, coming out with this tweet saying that he was behind, essentially, he's taking credit for the currency crisis of last year. That's pretty, that's an astounding statement in and of itself. That one NATO ally would do that to another NATO ally is pretty surprising. I think there were effects. Turkey's economy was very much impacted by not the sanctions themselves, but by the future predictions of continued sanctions or continued economic difficulties. The United States is the largest economy in the world. That's no one is disputing that. And even the world's second largest economy, China, has been completely battered by America's actions. The Chinese economy is on the ropes. If Donald Trump wanted to, if he continued in the way that he's going, China would be in some real trouble. And I don't think Trump is thinking about this long term. So is it possible for the United States to really hurt the economy of China or any other country, even if it means burning the U.S. economy and throwing the U.S. into recession? It does. It's absolutely possible. But I don't think Trump cares long term. So in that respect, he could do a lot of damage to any country he wanted. Yes. And he did some damage to Turkey's economy last year. But I don't think these statements that he made are indicative of sanctions or anything near like that in the near future.
Okay, Taha Arvas, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you for your analysis as always.